Hi guys, thank you for joining me this weekend for the weekly horoscope. I decided to do it live to be a bit more interactive and maybe a little bit different than I usually do it with a recording, just to feel you, just to be maybe talking to some of you. I'll hopefully be able to answer some of your questions after I give announcements for the week. Just a second.
Once there was a school that wanted a better
Oh my
way
God,
to bring
what is that?
teachers and students together to collaborate,
I
explore,
have
and
no
boost
idea what this
outcomes.
is.
Then
coming
one
from.
day, they discovered the solutions offered by Windows
Okay.
10. From kindergarten to college to career and beyond.
Okay, sorry. You see, I don't do this often, the live chat, so it surprises me. But I think I closed the chat as well. I'll have to find it in a little bit after that so I can answer some of your questions. But anyway, I'm Lada from Astrolada.com, as you know me, and that's your horoscope for the week of 6th till the 12th of February. And we have the full moon lunar eclipse happening this week. We're going to speak about it. And we have Mercury going into Aquarius, and we have Venus and Mars will be in Aries. We're going to see who is going to be affected. I'm going to try and mention all the signs, hopefully, and how they can benefit from the eclipses, from the change of signs, from the planets in different signs. And yeah, so we'll try and wrap it up in 20-30 minutes. So just to let you know, guys, we have around 70 people subscribed for the Sunday webinar on soulmate compatibility, which uses 9 divisional soul chart, because this is something that you won't find much about on internet. Looking at the soul chart of the soulmate and comparing it with the birth chart of another person and what it means, because this information is you don't need to know even astrology to attend it. I'll explain everything from the start, and it's going to be very easy. But you'll be a step ahead even from some of the best astrologers knowing this technique, a very spiritual technique, and I've been working with it for the last 1 year. Amazing results. So yeah, do come and join us. It's only $19. This webinar, it will be probably 2-3 hours or longer, and after the 12th of February, it becomes $30, $29. So don't miss the discount till the end of this week. Okay, now let's see how this week is shaping up astrologically. Well, the first thing that I want to speak about is that Mercury, in the middle of the week, is moving into the sign of Aquarius. And that is basically happening around the 7th or the 8th of February, the middle of the week. And with this, we're going to have all the important planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and the Sun, in masculine signs. And what does this mean? Well, when planets are in masculine signs, it's all about action. It's all about initiative. It's all about progressive action, taking speed, taking new initiatives as well, and being, rather than waiting around and waiting for things to happen for you. When all the important planets in masculine signs, it's like this inner engine is driving us from the inside. It's as if we're triggered from the inside to start taking action. And people that are naturally action oriented, like the male signs, like the fire signs and the air sign people, they'll naturally resonate much easier with this energy. And they'll feel much more inspired to act. And that's going to continue for a few weeks ahead, basically, having all the planets in masculine signs. So this will be very supportive for Aries, for Leo, for Sagittarius, for Aquarius, for Gemini, for Libra, for example. People that are more of the feminine make, which are female signs, basically the water signs and the earth signs like Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, whether it's your sun, moon, or ascendant, maybe you'd feel a little bit more out of sorts because all that masculine energy jibes and with your feminine energy, but maybe you just need this extra push right now. Even if it does not feel as natural, to be more driven, to be more initiative, it will give you that desire, and this will give you that inner impetus to act more, to go and fix things rather than wait for good circumstances to come. How is the masculine and feminine energy different? Well, when most of the planets are in feminine signs, which is not the case now, but just to give you an example, it's better for us to just wait around to see when good circumstances present themselves to us, and then to react to them. This is feminine energy. It's receptive. It waits for the right circumstances. It looks around. And when the opportunities or the circumstances are presented, it reacts accordingly. It first makes itself feel good and better, and then it goes and makes action. While the masculine energy, and this will be the whole next week and a few weeks ahead as well for February for everyone, it means that the best strategy for action is, instead of waiting for things to happen for us, we take the initiative. And for example, you want to go on a date. Well, maybe you'll be the one that goes somewhere to a bar and or subscribes to a website or something, and this is how the date happens. Or you want a better health, so you start working out or something like that, rather than waiting for something from outside to get presented to you as an opportunity. So for masculine, naturally masculine rule people, this is very comfortable. This is exactly how they feel in their skin. And if they feel bad when the energy is masculine, you have to do something about it. Waiting around for it to resolve itself on its own, so for you to be able to act and see good results, is not the answer. You have to say you feel bad, go for a walk, jog, call a friend. You take the initiative. That's the best strategy when all the energy is masculine. And usually when the energy is more masculine, because our world is very masculine still, which is about initiative, drive, and success and inspiration, we tend to feel more positive, and we tend to feel more not inner peace. Like masculine signs don't bring you so much inner peace, like excitability, drive to do things, curiosity, involvement. You get in this more involved masculine mode. Okay, so that's what happens when most of the planets in masculine signs. And Mercury going in Aquarius, what does it mean? Well, it means that till the end of the month, almost till the 26th of February, the planet of communication will be in a masculine sign, in Aquarius, where it feels very comfortable, by the way. So any activities, especially when it comes to managing, organizing, which is what Mercury rules, managing, organizing, communication, in regards to Aquarian things, will be very strongly supported till the 26th of February. What does it mean? Well, managing, organizing, marketing events that are connected to big groups of people, for example, that's Aquarius. Maybe organizing parties, organizing events of like-minded people, going and traveling or going to venues which are connected like-minded people, like lectures, concert, any cultural events as well, very supported. Aquarius is the sign of taking the fruits of your creative work and presenting them also to the world, to society, presenting them to be appreciated or to be judged or to be recognized by others. So any kind of organization of such events where you'll be presenting a product or presenting a brand or presenting some kind of some kind of a creative endeavor or something that you've been working on to the wider world, to the bigger audience, will be much more supported while Mercury is in Aquarius. And Aquarius is a very intellectual sign as well. So when the planet of communication is there, people have better and easier time of making friends, of being more sociable overall, of going and actively getting involved with other people with topics of universally important topics. And people also get very curious and very politically minded, because Aquarius is the sign that is about society. It's about what's happening in the world. It's about politics. It's about the events in the world currently that affect humanity on the whole, global events, current events, progressive events. And people tune in when Mercury is in Aquarius, tune in strongly into that energy. So we'll get even more, you'll see the feed on your Facebook even more politically charged up and politically minded. Already the sun has been in Aquarius for the past two weeks. Approximately, and you see how more and Mars was before that in Aquarius, so almost like 2 months we had a lot of Aquarius energy, and you see it's been booming on the internet, everyone talking about politics, everyone talking about socially important things and political what's happening in the world. And Mercury in Aquarius continues that trend basically, and it gets into us through the media, which is Mercury. People will become more vociferous and more loud, so to speak, in expressing their opinions. But thankfully, Aquarius is a more objective sign as well, so it helps people be a little bit more detached rather than be so immersed in in their thinking, be extreme in some way. Aquarius allows people to be a bit more detached, a bit more universal in their look, a bit more open-minded as well. And on a personal level as well, this can be a very good time while Mercury is in Aquarius till the 26th of February to be to do kind of to be close with friends, to communicate with friends, with people that you have mutual ideas, to join forums, to join societies or group activities that are connected by like-minded people that will support your views, that you can express your views there as well. It's either friends or somehow being involved with others as well. And people who are in the business of having to spread some message, having to connect to big groups of people in some way, having to reach out to big groups of people. Mercury in Aquarius will definitely support you and help you a lot till the 26th of February. And how will this affect each sign? Well, let's see. Of course, Aquarians will be affected the most, and that continues till the 26th of February. This week, currently, just the early born Aquarius will be affected. Basically, those born in the first 7 days of Aquarius. Basically, the January born Aquarius will feel Mercury in their sign, because Mercury is at the beginning. Or basically, if you have ascendant or moon, like I have ascendant in Aquarius at 2 degrees, I'll feel it towards the end of the week, basically. From 0 degrees in Aquarius till 7 degrees in Aquarius, people with sun, moon, or ascendant will feel Mercury. What does it mean for Aquarius overall, whether for this week or till the end of Mercury staying in Aquarius till the 26th? It means that you Aquarians are graced by a very balanced and beautiful planet Mercury, which happens once every year, by the way. And Mercury in Aquarius makes you be more witty over the next, comparatively, a month, a little bit less than a month, half a month. Aquarius can be very involved with communications, with writing, with creating new contacts, with getting in touch with people. People can get in touch with you. You can get in touch with you. If you're an Aquarius and you're involved with marketing, information, management, administrative work, anything to do with media, anything with writing, with speaking, which is all Mercury, anything with travel, anything with business, anything with commercial activity. I mean, that's like almost like 99%. Any intellectual work. This is what people mostly do nowadays, mercurial careers. And Mercury will definitely give you like a wind in your wings and help you basically move forward with such project and be more efficient and be more organized and be more effective in your communication. So if you're Aquarius and if you want to speak to someone, if you want to express an idea, if you want to express an opinion, if you want to make an impact, intellectually spread some message, or if you work in any of those spheres of career, Mercury is helping you. And I would say the same also for for people of the other air signs, which is Gemini and Libra, because Mercury in Aquarius, which is an air sign, helps all the other air signs, likes help each other, similar signs help each other. So Gemini and Libra will also be quite inspired and quite supported when it comes to mercurial activities, communication, writing, social activities of some sort, communicating with friends, with creating new contacts, commercial activities. I don't want to repeat myself, but in that sphere, all mercurial, which is, I guess 80% of all activities nowadays in the world are very mercurial. That's why Mercury, I say, is the most important planet, probably the most important planet nowadays in our very mercurial world, which is about communication and information. So Mercury, first of all, feels great there. So communications seem to be better and more impartial and less judgmental. And at the same time, the air signs are uplifted when it comes to communications, and they do it better. And when it comes to any Mercury commercial and business and communicative activities, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, This is good for you till the 26th of February. When it comes to the fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, Mercury being in Aquarius means that it triggers your communication houses. Interesting. Social houses. It triggers, for example, for Leos, the 7th house of relationships. So it can improve negotiations for Leos. It can improve for Leos personal relationships till the end of February, to be more impartial, to be more, to speak and to think, to get things on the open, to negotiate something more impartially, to have more contact with others in some way, to cooperate in some business activities with others, for example, to do some business project or to do some intellectual project together and coordinate with another person or with your partner in some way. For Sagittarius, Mercury will be in Aquarius. So that's your 11th house, Sagittarius, is it? No, that's your 3rd house, Sagittarius. So again, another communicative house, not so much connected to personal, very close relationships, but Sagittarius can definitely benefit through this Mercury in Aquarius through getting into through any commercial activities. 3rd house is like Mercury, so double whammy Mercury. So Sagittarius can travel, for example, over the next couple of weeks to 3 weeks while Mercury is there. They can create more contacts. They can create more. Some important piece of information can come for them to close a certain deal. Some commercial activities there can be more help. Their mind can work better there as well. More increased communication with other people, with siblings, with friends, with relatives. And then for the last air sign, Aries, Aquarius is in our 11th house, so definitely Mercury in the 11th house, very social, helps us move forward with projects and manage them better, and projects which will be beneficial financially for us, because the 11th house rules gains and financial benefits of any sort, and anything that help us reach our goals. So as Aries can help, Mercury in Aquarius will help us be more organized and more efficient and more orderly and more methodical, which are all qualities of Mercury, and more practical as well, in regards to long-term goals, achieving them methodically, following through, and creating contacts with benefactors or people that can help us. And creating, maybe having important conversation with someone who can help you, or meeting someone new who can help you with certain project or with certain goal that you have in your life, with certain dream and wish, which is what the 11th house rules, for example. Or on the most simple level, if you're Aries, you can just, Mercury in Aquarius can benefit you by helping, by making you more sociable and by taking you to some events, social activities, making you more in the public eye in some way, which is 11th house, so being more connected to friends. And then for the air signs, Mercury in Aquarius, the fire and air, we passed them, the water signs, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Mercury in Aquarius falls in their emotional houses, which is the 4th, the 12th, and the 8th houses. So what can happen for the water sign people, whether it's your sun or ascendant or moon, especially if it's your ascendant, and especially if it's your sun, is that some private conversations can happen on an important level, because these are the private hidden houses, the 12th, the 8th, the 4th. Conversations with intimate people in their life, whether intimate lovers or family members, or conversations that are in regards to more private matters, in regards to feelings, in regards to solving some problem from the past, in a sense that we're emotionally locked in. So if you're a water sign person, there will be more intimacy in your communication, but also more hiddenness. It's more private. It's not so much for the public eye, but also because the sign is Aquarius, and Aquarius is more objective sign, you'll be able to more objectively analyze your feelings and come with conclusions about certain subconscious motivations that drive you and that either, sabotage your actions or that keep repeating themselves in certain patterns. And Mercury helps you analyze from a more detached perspective those kind of hidden motivations and emotions and feelings and why you're having them. So this is what helps for the water signs. And also dealing and managing matters of property, of dealing and managing matters of personal matters, your private life as well, which are not so much about you coming to the public, but sorting your own private life behind the scenes. And then for the earth people, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, this Mercury in Aquarius till the 26th of February will help you with activities which are connected to material things, because Mercury in Aquarius falls either in the 6th, the 10th, or the second house of the earth people, basically, of Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo, which is very good to sort out material and practical matters in your life. While the water people are sorting out emotional things, seeing them more objectively and detaching from certain extreme opinions and becoming a bit more open-minded emotionally. The earth people, they are purely practical matters. They're solving purely practical matters. So, for example, for Taurus, Mercury will be in their 10th house, yes. So that can be very good for their social standing, reaching out to authority figures, to institutions, to government organizations, speaking up, communicating with them if you want your words to be heard, cooperating or working on some projects with authority figure, or if you're your own boss, or if you work whatever career it is, especially if it's a mercurial, to make some impact, to move forward, to be more efficient and progressive, to get things done better. In regards to mercurial careers, the 10th house is your career, especially if it's visible career, which is communication, writing, speaking, administration, all those matters. And your voice to be heard somehow. And to be more diplomatic, Mercury is very diplomatic in the 10th house. Then for Capricorns, Mercury being in Aquarius means it's in your second house. So you can put in order, Capricorns, your finances. For example, you can move money from one bank to another, or you can do some financial transactions that research something in regards to creating more resources and finances. Put order into your possessions. It might be as simple as organizing your wardrobes, basically. Second house is all the tangible, visible assets and material things we possess, or have more of an objective, analytical approach and be able to analyze your finances more objectively. Maybe even advice with friends or with benefactors who can help in that direction in regards to your resources and finances. And then for Virgo, Aquarius happens to be in the 6th house. So Mercury there makes you much more organized in regards to your health, much more organized and efficient, and even productive, which is what Mercury is. And maybe do some research, find important information in regards to your work projects, in regards to perfecting your skills in some way, in regards to work and health and daily routines overall. So you see how it's helping Mercury, the earth signs, in regards to very practical, down-to-earth, material, financial, social status, career. Okay, so that's about Mercury in Aquarius. I love Mercury. I think Mercury is it's like one of the great benefics, But the key thing this week is the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, full moon lunar eclipse in Leo. And I want to give you a little bit more information about this lunar eclipse, because it's not the most powerful one. It's actually, even if you're able to see it in the sky, if it's passing through your country, it's not going to be very visible. It's not going to be like the blood moons of the previous years, where the sun and the moon totally align, and it's like the moon becomes blood red and the whole shadow of the earth falls on it, and it becomes kind of scary, right? It's just this time, just the shadow of the earth will pass and graze a little bit one of the corners of this full moon in Leo. So it's I would say it's not fully, like, it's not going to turn your life fully around, but it can still bring more intense experiences, being a full moon eclipse, and fulfillment, because full moon is about something coming to fruition. something completing, or something, receiving, materializing some vision you've had, materializing some desire you've had. Actually, in ancient astrology, full moons are considered auspicious, while new moons are considered, when the moon is invisible, inauspicious, because the moon is the regulator of life and growth of the material things on earth. And when the moon is fully visible, full moon, it kind of like life feels to be most materialistically expressed. And we're material people, and we want materialistic results, rather than. And when the moon is invisible, it's great for the spiritual life, but not so good for outer events. So when we have the full moon, and this full moon, as I keep saying, is like full moon on steroids, because it's a lunar eclipse as well. But it's not one of those lunar eclipses that are totally, that are so strong as to turn everything around. But still, especially Leos and Aquarius will feel it a lot. And by the way, in my February 2017 videos, I speak about each sign, probably for about 5-6 minutes, for each sign, how the full moon in Leo is going to affect you, what house it's going to affect for you. And I'm not going to repeat that, because it's going to be a video of then 2 hours. But go to my February, say if you're Libra, February 2017 video, and I speak, and I've even drawn the chart, how the full moon looks, how the planets are situated. And I want to repeat that the planets are situated so well. So listen to that, because this full moon eclipse in Leo is one that can give you something over the next 40 days after the eclipse, even up to 2-3 months after the eclipse. It can give you something rather than take something from you. Why is that? What are eclipses? Eclipses are fated events. Eclipses create those almost like junctures in life, which the soul has planned before it comes, and things that have to happen no matter what you do, no matter what your personal choices are. They have to happen because your soul chose to experience them, and because they're part of your pre-planned soul journey, so to speak. So they're caused by North Node and South Node, Rahu and Ketu, which are the karmic points in the horoscope, which rule the past lives and future experiences, and basically they're caused by our karma. So these are things that have been, so to speak, predetermined for us. When eclipses come over the next 40 to 3 months after an eclipse, predetermined events happen, but only if the eclipse personally affects you. Like for 5 years, you might not have a single eclipse that affects any of your planets. And then within 2 years, you might have 4 eclipses that affect all your personal points in your life. Bam, bam, bam. Then it's like fated event after fated event, or sometime, and I'm not going to speak how this eclipse is going to affect each sign, but I'm going to speak how to find out if it's going to affect you personally. If you want to find out how the eclipse will affect each sign, watch my monthly videos for February. And just want to say a little bit more about that eclipse, that this eclipse, it's quite beneficial, first of all, because it's caused by the North Node of the moon, basically the north declination, as we call it, of the moon, or Rahu. It aligns with the moon, and the sun is opposite. And the North Node, especially in Western society, is considered to be a giver of something, because North Node is material manifestation, something that's progressive, something that gives material manifestation. So it's a point that tends to give something. But around the time of the eclipse, still people feel very tense, maybe a week before and a week after, and the 3 days before and the 3 days after the eclipse. I advise that you don't do very important things like operations and things like that. It's just life-changing decisions, because the energy is too emotional, because the North Node magnifies whatever it is with, and it's with the moon, and this moon is being eclipsed, and it's in Leo. It's dramatic as it is already, so everything we experience, and everyone will feel that feeling much more dramatic, much more emotional, much more reactive. And like Leo is the stage performer. Like even if something small happens, or we might be like, oh yeah, collapsing and thinking dramatically. And again, this is not one of the strongest eclipses, so it's not going to be too extreme, but still avoid 2-3 days before, 2-3 days after taking life-changing decisions. You can still continue your everyday activities, of course. It's what else can we do? It's just be aware that you're feeling overly dramatic. If you're feeling overly intensified emotions, that's because of this full moon, and it's happening exactly on the 10th, basically on the 10th and 11th. Maybe the 2-3 days before it, a couple of days after it, you can feel this more excitable energy, and not so much excitable either. It might be sensitizing, because Rahu magnifies whatever it touches. It touches the moon. The moon is emotions, emotional projections and fears, and the moon rules our subconscious feelings. So when they're magnified, we can make mountains out of molehills. And people that are very sensitive, they notice that around full moons, they always feel like full moons or solar or lunar eclipses, they can feel feelings on steroids, basically. And they can project things that are not even realistic, and fear. And the ancient texts, actually, and esoterics, they say when the sun or the lunar eclipse, the dark powers take control. So the day of the lunar eclipse, a little bit before and after, and these are our inner demons that start talking in our voice. Oh, the worst will happen. Or you can't do that. These are, the self-talk usually, how those entities, darker entities approach us. They approach us through our feelings, they approach us through our moods, and through our self-talk, and through our feelings, and they start making us see everything darker. That's why it's very good around lunar and solar eclipses to be more vigilant in a source. You're aware that your feelings will be magnified. You're aware that you might project more than is real, actually, that your fears can be magnified, or even your expectations can be magnified, and that you refrain from taking cardinal life decisions for those 4 or 5 days, and that at the same time you also try not to overeat, because this affects the sleep patterns. This affects, create stronger stronger aura around you. And overeating, oversleeping, overindulging in drinks or anything harmful weakens the aura. Oversexing yourself, and this can create more easy access of those darker energies, as they call, to access you. And it might not cause anything important happening in your life, but just to stress you mentally, emotionally, just to make you feel more, vulnerable, and more as a victim mentality, or overly emotional and exaggerate. So it's good to eat more like vegan, vegetarian diet, less, not to overeat before you go to sleep around the days around the 10th of February. The solar eclipses are even stronger. We'll speak about that when the solar eclipse comes. And not to, if fearful feelings grip you, not to overreact. If someone pushes you buttons, to know that you might react to emotionally. So to maybe wait it a couple of days. There are eclipses twice a year. So it's not the end of the world. We just kind of feel funky around that. But who can actually feel it and make a big change in their life? Well, people that have any planets around Aquarius or Leo 22nd degree. And if you don't know where you have planets, because I understand many of you just know your sun sign. If you know just your sun sign, it means that this solar eclipse will personally affect you, not just in your feelings, but will over the next 2-3 months actually can bring something totally new, can bring fruition and manifestation of something in your life, can bring a reversal and change in a big way. For example, the last solar eclipse that fell on an important planet in my horoscope, on the planet that rules my ascendant, turned my life around in the next 40 days. On the day of 2 days after the day of the eclipse, something happened, fated, out of my control, and it was an eclipse, lunar eclipse, exactly like this one, caused by Rahu. So I'm just I love giving examples with my life because it's the easiest. I'm self-obsessed, I'm Aries, Leo moon, so I observe my life closely, and it's it's when this happens, when an eclipse, especially lunar eclipse caused by Rahu, or the north node of the moon, can give you something, can bring something tangible into your life that is fated, that you have little control over, but it can still turn your life around. And that eclipse that I'm talking about was a full moon blood eclipse, like the really intense one. And so hopefully it's not going to be as turbulent if you happen to have something around the 22 degree of Leo or the 22 degrees of Aquarius. But still, it will bring something to you, which is, and you can give it 3-4 degrees orb, basically, if you have any planets from around 19 or 18 degrees in Leo to around 26 degrees in Leo or Aquarius. So 18 to 26 degrees in Leo or Aquarius. Something can come in your life, something fated that you cannot escape, something that manifests materially, because this eclipse gives you something, but it can still turn your life around. It can still feel tumultuous and turbulent, because even big things like getting pregnant or getting married or meeting a new partner can feel like an extremely turbulent event. Like the body reacts, scientists have shown that like the body reacts to new sudden events like death or birth with the same neurons. So it's like the same shock. I remember when I was told that my brother was born, it felt like the same reaction when I was told a month earlier that my grandmother had died. It's kind of funny how the body reacts to anything new and so big, in a shocked way. But something will be given, something will happen that it introduces something in your life. If you have any planets between Leo in Aquarius or Leo from 18 to 22 degrees. So if you don't know where your planets are, it means that if you are born February born Aquarius, this is your sun being there, from around the 7th to 6th of February to around the 14th or 15th of February. This is when something can change in a big way in your life, because the eclipse is happening in those degrees. That is close to your sun, maybe a big change in your career over the next few months, a big change in your goals, a big change, and take care of your health as well. The sun rules health. Or if you happen to have your moon or your ascendant there in Aquarius at those degrees, and it very likely can come to you through some relationships, because this eclipse is happening in the 7th house of Aquarius, through someone new coming into your life, or some big change happening in the life of a partner that can affect you as well and change your goals and directions. Or if you're Leo born, you feel it very strongly. If you're Leo born, let's see, from 18 degrees, from the 10th, 11th of August to around the 18th, 19th of August. But the strongest ones that feel it is 14th, 15th of August. This lunar eclipse is falling exactly on your sun. So again, something to do with career, something to do with an important man in your life can change, something to do with an important relationship with authority figure, boss, career, father figure, your own goals and career. Or if it's your moon from around 18 to 26 degrees, especially around the 22nd degrees in Leo, like mine is at 24 degrees, this eclipse falls on my moon. It means that within the next 3 to 4 months, something important shift, important fated events will happen in regards to your family, in regards to your personal life, in regards to your place of living. This is if your moon is in Aquarius or if your moon is in Leo in those degrees. So something to do with personal relationships, something to do with family, with home, with important women in your life, mother, grandmother, something that, and I say that, I explain in my monthly video that this eclipse, for me, it's more positive because it's really well aspected. It can still come as a shocking development because we're never prepared for the big changes, but it's something that you gain from because it's caused by Rahu and it's so well aspected. You can meet even life partner if it falls on your moon or ascendant, someone new or someone that changes your life somehow in a big way. Or if it's your ascendant from 18 to 26 degrees in Leo or in Aquarius, again, important developments in relationship. Ascendant is connected to other people and to us and to our direction in life. So basically, if you have Leo or Aquarius in those degrees, over the next 3 months, you can make a big shift in your direction, because the ascendant rules your destiny and where you're moving physically towards. And it can be like a big derailment and a big change in direction that the eclipse brings. Or it can bring a big change in direction through some important relationship, because the ascendant axis continues and turns into the relationship axis. So, or if you happen to have Venus in Aquarius or Venus in Leo from 22 to around, from 18, to around 26 degrees, especially the 22nd degree, check out, if you know, Venus is the planet of love. When there was an eclipse, it's basically, it can bring in the next few months fated partners, marriages, or fated developments of relationships, something that totally changes your life again, something that's even out of your control. But how do you find out if you have Venus in those degrees? Well, go to my birth chart calculator at astrolada.com, enter your details, and go to once you enter them, even if you don't know your time of birth, it's okay. You'll see a few tables, and go to the planetary detail table. It's a small table, and check. You see Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Mercury, Venus. Just read. If Venus says it's in Leo, those degrees, or in Aquarius, oh God, you're going to have an eclipse on your Venus. And I've seen clients, when there's an eclipse on their Venus, get married, get divorced, meet soulmates, life partners, and such kind of important Venus relationship related events, or related to money and resources and luxuries and finances as well. Usually if it's a South Node eclipse, something is taken from them in regards to that. Like when there was an eclipse on my Venus, which rules money as well. And on that week, I signed up a contract with someone, but that was an eclipse which was caused by Ketu, which was the opposite. It takes something and it kind of ended up costing me lots of money and didn't work out. But usually an eclipse with Rahu, which gives you something materially, means will bring something to you. Again, I repeat. Okay, so yeah, if you have any of those planets, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Venus in Leo or Aquarius, or even Mercury, if you have there can be some important things that happen in regards to what is Mercury again. Travel, writing, speaking, some commercial projects, events with friends, fated meeting, fated friend, some fated development with a friend, meeting some fated development with siblings or relatives that happen over the next 40 days to 30 to 3 months after that. Some important, and again, you have to see the house that planet is in. But for the houses where the planet triggers, or where this eclipse triggers, check out my monthly video again. And it's going to be also important if the eclipse falls on Jupiter. If you have Jupiter in Aquarius or Leo in those degrees, 18 to 26, because Jupiter rules also resources, finances, financial wealth, rules children in your life, rules your belief systems. A new teacher can appear in your life. Rules, according to Vedic astrology, rules the husband as well. So if you follow also Vedic astrology, if you're Aquarius or Leo, Jupiter, they can be like a fate. It's something that you receive, but that changes your husband, or something that's connected to a life partner, husband type of, or a guru, teacher, or a child as well. And if it happens to be on your ascendant lord, check out, say if you're Libra ascendant, Venus is your ascendant lord, and if Venus falls in Aquarius or Leo and the eclipse happens there, this is what changed my life, an eclipse on my ascendant lord, which is also conjunct Jupiter, the husband. So my life turned around, but it's so check out if your ascendant lord, say if your Aries ascendant, Mars will be your planet. And if it happens that the eclipse falls on Mars, well, a change in your direction by receiving something new and totally like redirecting the goals and directions in your life. But always on eclipses, take care of your health as well. Okay, so enough about the eclipse. If you want to hear more about how it's going to impact each sign, but the other signs, they're not going to be affected so much, They can just feel more the emotional impact of that we were talking about. And I just want to give you a few more days and a few more things that are happening. Okay, we have Mars and Venus in Aries. So let's first start with Venus. Venus is in Aries from the first degree, so from the first 1 degree to around 6-7 degrees in Aries, which means that if you're an Aries born, if you have Sun or Moon in Aries in the first 7 degrees, Venus is passing over your Sun or Venus over your Moon or Ascendant, which is great. You're gonna feel more beautiful. You're gonna feel more attractive. You're gonna attract the right kind of people. Or if basically you're born from around the 22nd, 21st of March till around the 27th of March, if you're that kind of Aries born when the sun is from 1 to around 7 degrees, which means from the 22nd, 21st of March to around the 27th of March, you're having Venus transit. It's a fast one. It takes 2-3 days only, but it's wonderful, because it makes you feel more agreeable. And recently Mars passed last week over those degrees, so maybe it ruffled you up a bit. Maybe it stressed you more. And now Venus comes to soothe everything, to calm everything down. Great for attending parties, great for socializing, great for going on a date, even meeting someone, love experience of some sort. Great for any Venusian activities like art, like self-care, pampering, giving yourself love, making yourself pretty, changing your hair, buying new clothes, all those things. Venus is so, we love it so much. And Venus is so strong, guys. It continues to be so strong and powerful, visible up there in the sky, the brightest object in the sky after the moon nowadays. And also if you happen to be Leo or Sagittarius in the first few degrees, you feel this gentle, positive Venus influence, maybe not to the same extent as Aries will do, but basically if you're born from the 24th of July till around the 30th of July, or you have your moon or ascendant from 1 to around 7 degrees in Leo, or if you're a Sagittarius sun born from around the 24th of November to around the 29th of November. Next week is going to be supportive for you through Venus, one of the benefics, because Venus in a fire sign helps other fire signs. So all good for those Venusian things, pleasures, pampering, enjoyment, so you can benefit pleasurable experiences and things like that. Okay, and then we have Mars. Mars is more aggravating, but it's very strong in Aries. So from the 6th till the 12th, Mars is basically from around 6 degrees to around 11 degrees in Aries, which means that those areas that are born from around 6-7 degrees, let's see, that are born from around the 27th to around the 1st of April, so basically the next group of people, they're more influenced by Mars. So this week coming, those areas will feel more martial energy, not so much first the soothing Venusian energy, so they get more activated, more driven to get things done, to rush things. Maybe they get more impatient, more stressed as well, but more initiative. Aries love that, so Aries deal very well with Mars energy, but still it makes them, if you're born like those days in Aries, makes you feel more stressed and a bit more reactive. So be careful. Instead of just blowing off in someone and being a bully or overreacting, you can regret it later. But it's great to use that anger to change things. It's great to use that this challenging energy to to shift, to make changes, to fix problems as well. And Mars will also affect the other cardinal signs with its square or opposition. For example, Libras. Libras that are, let me just see it, just 2nd February. Mars from 6 to 11 degrees. Okay. So Libras, who are born from the 30th of September or 29th of September till around the 4th of October, or 5th, plus minus a day, they having Mars opposition to their sun, or basically if you have ascendant or moon in Libra, from 6 to 11 degrees in Libra. So someone will challenge you, someone can press your buttons, someone can trigger you into action and activate you by saying something critical, or by busting your balls, or by triggering you. Say someone says, oh, your website sucks, or oh, your presentation sucks, and you're like, ooh, you want to kill them, but then you're like, okay, this is constructive criticism, because Mars is biting, you know, or someone pushes you to do something, and you can, instead of being reactive and angry at that person, which often happens, use that anger to actually, you know, to correct whatever needs to be corrected, and to drive you to more initiative and action. Or if you happen to be Cancer, also you can feel it. Cancer in those degrees from 6 to 11, which means that you're born from around the 28th of June till around the 3rd of July, Cancer born, you know, or if your ascendant or your moon is from 6 to 11 degrees in Cancer, again, the same thing matters for you. But this time it can come maybe more on a personal level, from family, or maybe something around the home, because Mars is making a square from the 4th house. But still, you can have your buttons pressed more if you're born around that days. Or it's just you can have a more dynamic, more active daily, more active day. It's just we become more reactive. That's it, especially on the emotional level if you're Cancer there. But again, this can activate you to change something, to improve something, because this is the ultimate goal of Mars. Because we don't, if everything is smooth and easy, we're not going to change. We're not going to move our asses. If it's all Venus and Jupiter, all the abundance, all the pleasures, we're just going to become big fat blobs of lard, you know, and it's, and I don't know. And Mars comes to kick us a little bit, to stress us, so we get into actions, very initiative. Or if you happen to be Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant from around 6 to 11 degrees, Mars will have the same effect on you, which means that if you're born from around the 28th of December to around the 2nd of January, the same thing matters for you. So this is what I see, guys, overall. You know, I didn't mention almost, it wasn't for everyone. Not everyone feels all the influences all the time, but hopefully those of you who managed to stay with us all that time, maybe you heard your days, and it helps to know a little bit more astrology. It helps to know your ascendant sign. It helps to know the degree of the ascendant sign. Even if nothing else, just your sun sign, you know it, and the day you're born on, of course, which I mentioned, and at least if you know your ascendant sign, because the ascendant sign is the tangible physical manifestation. So that's next week, guys. Interesting, you know, interesting. And by the way, 2 days after the eclipse, I have this webinar. Come join me. Seriously, I think it's gonna be, it's very cheap. It's $19. Soulmate, we have 70 people, I think, so far that are coming, and everyone gets a recording. And we're going to talk about the D9 charts, the 9-divisional soul chart, what the soul craves for, and what the soul craves for, we attract through a partner who reflects it back to us. What the soul craves to become, this is the 9-divisional chart. What the soul evolutionary goal is in this lifetime. Because the birth chart shows what is already materialized, what is materialized from past life actions. It's gonna happen. The birth chart is material, is tangible. We don't have much impact on top of it, you know. It's materialized to the physical manifestation already. But the 9-divisional chart is what our soul craves for the future, what our soul wants to become more of, what our soul wants to become more like. And how do we do that? The universe sends us a partner who mirrors those qualities. And Sometimes we want to be tougher. Sometimes we want to be more badass. Our soul craves for toughening, so we'll attract a tougher partner. We'll attract a harder experiences, to, But this divisional chart shows you. It kind of describes your soulmate, so to speak. And we can have more than one soulmate. You see how it's reflected in the chart. And not only that, but they say that the 9 divisional chart will be the default horoscope for your next life. Very similar, because you are in the process of making it in this lifetime with your expectations and desires of the soul. Anyway, come join us. It will be so interesting. So many astrological mysteries. Thank you for being here with us. Please write to me your stories, what's happening. And again, I can't find my chat. I find this so fucking annoying. I'm sorry, but it's so hard to find where the chat is. And when I started it, this music started, and I can't even see your comments. I'll have to see next time how to do it, because I want to communicate with you guys. What we're going to do, I'll tell you, is that maybe...
Discover card. I'm not a customer, but I'm calling about that credit scorecard. Give it. Sure.
I'm going to learn how to do it better. And we're going to do Q&A. I'm just going to sit there, and you're going to write to me on the chat, and I'm going to answer you. We're going to do this very soon. And I'll try to answer as many as you, the ones that I can immediately answer. So you feel like we're sitting on coffee together and chatting. So thank you so much, guys. And I will see you next week.